I'm gonna put mine here.
On my glasses, yeah. Perfect. Hi, Loyiso, how are you doing?
Having a good time. How are you doing?
Good, man. Thank you so much for making time to speak to us today. Obviously, today's a very exciting day for you.
Indeed.
The launch of Unlearning.
Yes.
So can you just tell me how you're feeling today?
Man, it's very surreal. I'm still like kind of processing what's happening, but also I'm just like, like sometimes you have an idea of how things should be and whatever, like how you see things, and then someone else doesn't see it that way.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I know
it's
exactly
like
what you mean, yeah.
It happens a lot with musicians. They, they work on a thing and then they just, and then people be like, oh, no, this album is meh. Then you're like, okay, I guess. Yeah. So that's my anxiousness now.
Okay.
It's like I put this thing out, it's out of my control. So that's the feeling. It's not anxiety at all in the sense that I'm anxious about how it's going to be received, but I'm not like, I don't know, man.
No, I hear what you mean. Yeah. Basically, like how people are going to respond to it,
how people
interact with it. Like you can never really tell, right? Until it comes out. So, I mean, it's a humongous deal that this is debuting on Netflix. Can you just tell us a bit more about how that came about?
I've been touring this show like since 2016, 15. So I took it like, I think the first time I did it was probably Grahamstown.
Okay, dope,
and I did in Grahamstown, then I took it to Edinburgh Fringe Fest, and I took it to Australia, and then I started traveling with it. And I think that's where Netflix could have seen it and then wanted to acquire it. And so and then they reached out, we did the deal, and voila!
Oh, that's insane.
So it's like that, It's like that's the short story.
I'm actually interested in just like the first time you get that call. How are you? Where are you? What are you doing? What's your response to that?
Remember, like, what happens is you're in talks with these people constantly.
Yeah.
Different people from different, because you bump into the people at the festivals and chat, and they tell you what they're trying to do. You're like, I'm taking this here. Yeah. So the conversation can happen for like 4 years.
Okay.
And at some point, it just, it clicks.
Like it comes together.
And then they're like, are you still doing that thing? And you're like, yeah, I'm still. And then they're like, we're interested. This is our direction now. And then it happens.
Okay.
But it's not like a phone call in the sense like, if you like a football player and then you get a call from Real Madrid. You know what I mean? I don't know. No, that's a bad example. I'm just saying like, it's not like one day.
But I kind of get that. I kind of get that. Like
it's like there's someone tracing your career, right? So in 5 years' time, they'll be like someone you're talking to, and then they get into another position. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
It's
No, I see that. Just to get back to Unlearning, what can people expect from the show? Can you just tell us a little bit about it?
The show it's a story. It's a story. It's what I was personally going through. I'm like 20. I'm 37. And when when I was approaching my 30s, I was like, I can't like be stuck with the same ideas that I used to have when I was 16. Especially about relationships, especially about food, especially about life in general. So I had to like unpack myself and be like, oh man, okay, I need to change that. So I went to this journey of unlearning. So I wrote this show about it.
Okay.
And so that's what it is. It's a journey of me also like encouraging other people to unpack things and unlearn about themselves and do like self-reflection. Yeah, self-reflection. Just introspect a little bit. Like try to find out why you do the things you do. Is it because you were told? Is it because it's habit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes
I know exactly what you mean.
It's like I slouch. And the reason I slouch is because I've always been tall. And so then I just wanted to blend in.
Okay, so you'd kind of make yourself the same height as everyone.
Yeah, so I try to make myself a smaller height. And so now that's given me, in the long run, like a lot of back pain.
Okay.
But that's where it comes from. So that's what
so
when people watch the show, that's what I hope they take out of it. Okay, they get to figure out themselves. Like, oh yeah, this is that's why I do that. Oh, that's why I, You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And I mean, unlearning and unpacking, a lot of the stuff that we used to think about 20 years ago is quite a big conversation or discourse that's kind of taking place. So what are some of the, I'll call it topics that you kind of lean into in the show?
I talk about race, but I don't talk about it. I talk about it in quite a particular way. I talk about so in the show, I talk about like how people generally don't know that Spain and parts of Portugal and France were conquered by Africans for 700 years.
Oh,
you see what I mean?
Know that. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying like if you're growing up and a teenager, so let's say you're a teenager and you're African. So let's say you're African and you always know one narrative about who you are. Now imagine you're 11 years old and you know that information about who your people, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an African as a whole, you see what I'm saying? So in the show, those kind of things, it's like I talk about blackness, but I'm like, listen, you're not what they say you are.
There's so much more.
There's so much more to you. And so I hope that also starts it starts letting people feel proud of who they are. Because I just, like at school, they just didn't, they didn't say that to me. They didn't, not even, I mean, what they teach at school, I don't really care about because information is available. You can go to the internet, and find. You can go to the library. If you want the information, you'll find it.
You can find it,
You know what I mean? So I don't really care about school, but I'm saying that it will hopefully open up people to go find out about themselves.
Okay. And I mean, it's a comedy special, right? Yeah. Do you think it's funny? Is it funny?
I definitely think it's funny. Listen, let me tell you, it's not like joke per se, because I shot it in a very tiny room.
Okay.
The set is there's not one shot of the set here.
Okay,
but the
cool,
set, this little light here is about the half of my body.
Okay.
Like in terms of the size of it. So the set is like, it's massive.
Humongous,
and then but then the audience is tiny.
Okay.
Which is quite like a weird thing because it's usually like an okay set behind you and then it's like
humongous audience, right?
But it's like, so you had to, the energy in the room you have to control that energy. You can't overperform because the people are like, they're having wine and hors d'oeuvres and they're in a museum, so you got to control how you perform in that as well.
Kind of how it happens. No, just the last two questions before you wrap up, Loyiso. What do you think this is going to do for your career? I mean, debuting a comedy special on Netflix. How do you feel that's kind of going to take you to the next level?
This is the thing I have anxiousness about.
Okay, yeah.
Because what you have in your mind sometimes might not be the thing.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean, yeah.
It could. In my mind, I think it should allow me to tour the world and be like a known comedian around the world. So wherever I go, people will know who I am. That's what I think it would do. That's what I hope it does. But as we've seen with COVID, no one knows what's next.
Okay.
No one knows. So I'm the one thing I know is that I've always enjoyed the journey.
Right, yeah.
I've always enjoyed the journey. I've always tried to make it fun for myself. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move to, I don't know, I'm gonna go live in Chicago for 6 months.
I know they are here.
And then you're like, what? Then you're like, well, that's what I've decided to do. So that's so I keep it fun for myself. I try to make the journey fun. This is a big part of the journey. It's a big part of my life, and I'm enjoying it. So I don't want to overthink about what's next and that kind of stuff. I need to be in the moment of this release. I just need to enjoy it, and just take notes of just take notes of the journey.
No,
just take
I love
note
that.
Of the journey.
I love that. And I mean, as an outsider, I can say, I mean, it looks absolutely spectacular. The fact that it's on Netflix is something that we're all proud of. I think as a nation, it speaks for us on a global stage. So I really think it's going to do massively well. And I'm kind of speaking that into the universe.
That is so kind of you. And that alleviated a little bit of my anxiousness.
Okay.
A
No, at
touch.
least I've done one good thing today. And then just the last question, Loyiso, what can people expect from you for the rest of 2021? Yeah, we're still in the beginning of the
Let
year.
me tell you, I've been getting that question a lot. And my answer for that is sanitize, wear a mask and stay alive. Because people talk like this thing is over. Wear my mask, sanitize. Because if I'm dead, there's no career prospect. If I catch COVID and die, then, you know. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's deal with the basics. You know? I don't know if you play football or know anything about football.
I don't.
In football, they teach
Unfortunately,
you to trap the ball and pass it. They teach you to kill the ball. That's number one. Anything else?
So ibona phambili.
Yeah. But if you can't, my coach used to say, if you can't trap, you can't play.
Okay.
If I don't survive COVID, then I don't have a career. Then your question, you know what I mean?
I hear what you mean.
Let's start from the beginning. Let's survive. Let's sanitize. Wear our masks. And then we can think about next career.
Okay, no, I like that. I like that. No, thank you so much for your time, Loyiso Gola. And yeah, I hope everyone watches the show. We're really looking forward to, like I said, the response from everyone. So thank you.
Thank you.